Well, YouTube, how's it going? It's Chris Cuts here. Today I'm going to be doing a zero slash skin fade on my brother. The first thing I do to remove bulk is going with the longest guard that's going to be used. Depending on what the lowest number is, the highest number I always use is a 2 over whatever the lowest guard is. So because this is a 0, the longest guard I'm going to have is a 2, but if someone wanted a 1, the longest guard would be a 3. That just gives a good length difference between scalp exposure to scalp coverage, and just creates a really good blend when done well. So what I'm doing now is I'm going in with my 1.5 guard open. The reason I'm doing this is just to get the hairs down short enough so that whenever I use my clipper closed to put in the actual 0 line, it's very easy to get the line very neat. You don't have a lot of overhang that's hanging over where you've took your clipper out, so it just makes it a lot neater and a lot easier to see what you're doing. The 1.5 guard is now closed. It's sort of just creating a little bit of a fade, but you're just going to completely rack that when you stick your 0 guard in. With my skin fades, or 0 fades, or even like a half or a 1, I never bring them any higher than just below the temple. Once you do that, it just completely ruins it, and you have to squash in the blend, and it just almost looks like a line from a distance. Now I'm just sort of setting in, this would sort of be a low fade. Unless my client wants it sort of mid or high, I just generically do it like this. But as you can see, because I took it down to a 1.5 guard closed, it's very easy to set in a very neat 0 guideline. Doing that there, just like everyone always says that it doesn't have to be too neat, but I find that whenever it's neat, the fade just looks so much better because it's so much easier to blend out. So what I'm doing now is I've got my clipper over comb, and I'm blending from the 2 upwards into all the bulk that was hanging over. My brother wears a disconnection on both sides, so just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I over direct the comb back on itself, and I think that gives the smoothest blend. If you do it vertically, it's very easy to dig in a little bit too much and just raise the fade. So when I've got that there done, now what I've done is I'm going in with the 1 guard open, and I'm going no higher than I did with my 1.5 guard closed. This is just pretty much blending into that so I can regain control of the clipper after using the comb. So I go open, closed with 1 guards. The 1.5 guard I use open and closed, and it's when I start getting down to the little green clip, it's the half guard, that's when I start using the clipper completely open, middle and closed to complete the fade. So as you can see now, I'm in with a half guard, and I go in about a centimetre up, and it's about between a centimetre up to the guideline. That is where I do my complete half open to the 0. I just squash it all into such a small distance, and it just makes it so smooth. Again, as I said, I do half guard open, half guard halfway, and half guard closed. Take a listen. So with that there, the guideline is almost completely away. So now what I do is I go with my clipper with no guard open and just keep flicking away at that line. Because that line is very nearly away, do not go any higher, otherwise you'll just put in a big clipper mark and you'll just have to raise the entire fade. With the clipper with no guard, I go clipper open, clipper quarter, clipper closed, and it just makes it so much smoother. Before I do the final 0, I always brush it off, just so I can see specifically where that 0 should not go past. I've been fading like this since the day I started cutting hair, and being totally honest, I don't think it'll ever change. It's just the way I know how to do it. I've tried to do it different ways, and it just doesn't look the same. So for me, this is the way I do it, and if it helps you to do it this way, then give the video a thumbs up, like, you know, all that good stuff. Doing this part here, just lining it up, I wouldn't recommend doing this on every client. I'm doing it on my brother very gently because he has extremely sensitive skin. The reason I don't do skin fade on him is because we done it once and his head actually went purple. His head was sensitive for about 2 days, and that's not down to me going too rough. Even after doing it this gently, sometimes his skin can go red. So it's all about knowing your client, and just adjusting your work to them. So thanks very much for watching. Give the video a like, comment if you liked it, and thanks very much from Chris Cuts Hair. Goodbye.